please don't bring them in here, and then be mindful of the eating. If you eat chips, please don't chew with your mouth open, that type of stuff. Please do not use this front door during the lesson. Use the back door, and please don't let the door slam, because it slams very hard. Those are my classroom norms. Safety. Safety is paramount. In case of an unsafe condition, what we're going to do is we're going to throw that universal T of training timeout. Let's demonstrate that after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Training timeout.
Oh man, come on. We're going to yell, you got to yell it out. 1, 2, 3.
Training timeout.
Outstanding. In case of a fire, what we'll do is we have 2 staircases here. So one at the left, all the way down the hall, and one to the right, all the way down the hall. We'll take either one of those stairs, whichever one is unaffected. We'll cross over to the medical and dental parking lot, and then we'll take attendance with our class leader. We don't have a class leader now, but we'll get one later. In case of an earthquake, what we'll do is just shelter underneath our desks, just wait for the rumble and stop, and stand by for an all clear call. In case of an active shooter, we'll do is barricade the door, turn the lights out. If that active shooter breaks in, we're gonna fight. Good to go with the safeties? You're probably gonna hear the safeties a lot throughout these periods. Trust me. So this topic will give you an overview of the NITC and the principles that we will use to manage your classroom environment. It is important that you understand the structure of NITC and what will be expected of you while you're here. So pay close attention to all your instructors, and you will gain the dynamic new skill, which you will take to your next assignment, where you will begin to shape the future of the United States Navy/Marine Corps. In addition to that, one step closer to getting that NEC, Navy Enlisted Classification of 805 Alpha, and the college courses attached to this course. Are there any questions on anything I covered so far? Since there aren't any questions, let's go ahead and move on to our course overview. So course overview, welcome to the Navy Instructor and Training course. It's a 3-week course. We're gonna usually we're able to streamline and get y'all graduated a little bit early. However, we have a 4-day weekend. We're gonna take the full 4 days. Now, this is how it's broken down to module 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So essentials of instruction. You have instruction for the Navy. You have continuous learning, and then you have professional training and polished lesson delivery, which is your capstone. So your capstone will be that final presentation that you're going to present to the class, and you'll be evaluated based on your voice, eye contact, gestures, attitude skills, your questioning technique, and communication skills. If you go ahead, if you turn to page 1 and 7, from 1 through 7, you're going to see just a layout of the different topics that we're going to go through. So, AKA, also known as the syllabus. So you're going to go through there and you'll see there's some different topics that we have on there. Now, the advantage to having the syllabus is that once you get your computer access, if you want to get ahead, because you're going to see a lot of fill in the blanks in these books, you just go through the slides and just start filling in your books. Any questions on anything I covered here in this slide before we move on? So we're going to talk about the purpose of the NITC course. Are you new student?
Yes.
All right, then you can just have a seat. One of these, sit right there. All right, so we're going to talk about the purpose of the course, the principles of learning. So we're going to learn some different sciences and stuff and theories behind how we teach and how students learn. So we're going to talk about strategies and techniques, ways how to manage classroom dynamics and training dynamics. We're going to talk about oral questioning, very important part of this course. How are you going to ask questions and how are you going to interact with your students and have that discussion flowing throughout the course or throughout your topics. Instructional methods, effective communication, and presentation techniques. So progressive performance allows students to demonstrate proficiency in their knowledge, skills, and abilities. So it's KSAs. So once you have gone through this course, get through all these things, effective with your presentations, effective with your knowledge test, everything, you're gonna gain the basic skills of an entry-level instructor and get the 805 off of NEC for this course. Are there any questions on here before we move on to classroom management? So classroom management, so schoolhouse policies. We will discuss the following classroom management guidelines. So guidelines, our classroom hours, instructional hours are from 0 to 8 to 1600. However, if you are engaged in your learning experience, meaning you're not just a reluctant student, just be engaged. That gives us motivation to go through these lessons, because you're gonna find out it takes a lot to stand in front of a class and actually instruct and teach. So please engage with us so that way we can get through these topics effectively and efficiently, so we can get out of here and go with it. Sounds good? All right. We always shoot for 1200. That's like the money time. 1200. However, we can't hit that 1200 unless y'all want to help us out. Cool? Everyone checked in with student admin, Dylan 3290. If you have any issues with pay or any type of monetary stuff, anything administrative, just go ahead and talk to them and just let us know, like give us a heads up, so that way we're tracking that too. So just in case you need us to kind of step in a little bit, we can. Cool. Now, restrooms. The male restroom is down to the left, right here by this candy machine, and there's a water fountain there. So if you want to fill your water bottles, you can. And in those restrooms, there's a locker in the back, a locker in the shower. So if you want to take showers, if you want to wear civilian clothes to class and change in the locker room, you can do that. Just make sure you bring a lock and just get like a sticky note, put your name, classroom, NITC, stuff like that, right? Something to identify that that's your locker for the time being. Female restrooms are to the right, all the way down the hall. Same thing goes. It has a locker room, it has shower head, everything that you need, and there's also a water fountain down there too. And like I said again, yes, you can bring food. Just be mindful of what type of foods that you're bringing in here. We do have a refrigerator and a microwave is in room 311. So you can use those. Just please take your Tupperware with you at the end of the day. Don't leave it in there, please. And then yes, there's a microwave right next to the refrigerator in room 311. It's right across the hall this way. No tobacco use in the class. If you're a smoker, the smoke pit or the smoking area is right behind that main building, 3290. There's a gazebo. You'll see people smoking back there. That's the smoking area. All right. Also, we know that some of y'all are doing PCS moves, going to different commands and stuff like that, and things happen. You have family, you have appointments, maybe household goods, ship cars, all kind of stuff. So if you have any type of appointments, just please let us know ahead of time. It can be a day or two, so that way we can manage that and get you up to speed whenever you come back to class. Okay, just please let us know. Last minute, we'll work with last minute stuff, because you can't miss no more than 2 hours of instructional time. But we will work with you if you have to miss more than 2 hours. Sounds good? All right. Again, all that stuff that you checked in and all that information that you shared with FC1 Walsh, all of this is information that we're going to use to get you access to the computer. It's called training. Uniform of the day. The uniforms that you have on right now are all good to go. You can wear your type 3s, you can wear your blues, you can wear your whites, full metal, inner dress, just do not wear PT uniforms, and don't wear coveralls, okay, or civilian clothes. All right, cheating. Cheating is not authorized. No cheating. It's not determining if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. No. No cheating. If you suspect of cheating, we're probably going to drop you from this course. Maybe 99.9999%. You're probably going to drop. So don't get caught cheating. The tests are not that difficult. If you pay attention to class and you just review the things, it's pretty easy. So we already talked about being absent. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is, by show of hands, what are my E5s in class? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be all. Who has been in the Navy between 6 to 10 years?
11.
11?
I got 11
All right,
also.
HO2, come on up.
I'm 11 also.
Well, how much time you got?
11.
11? All right, come on up too. Since y'all are on the tie, we're gonna do a tiebreaker, right? And it's just one time. Rock, paper, scissors. Real quick. Cool? So whenever y'all ready, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ready?
All you.
And how you pronounce it?
McCurry.
McCurry? And what's your rate? BU. So BU to McCurry, he's gonna be your class leader. Okay? So give it up.
That's what you
Put your name right here and then write yourself on. Just kind of squeeze this up on like right underneath. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, throttle back a little bit. Right here, grab that marker again with you. And so we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with 3, or you, in collaboration with your classmates, you're gonna come up with 3 class rules or class policies. So, first things first, just to get you started or get you all started, 0800 is what time an instructor is gonna be here and they're gonna start teaching. So what time should everyone be in their seats? Well, 15 minutes prior, 5 minutes prior, it could be 2 minutes prior, it's your rules. We're gonna start at 08 regardless. So this is what you wanna do, right? It's called canvassing, you wanna canvass the room. So they'll say, hey, by show of hands, who says 15 minutes prior? Hey, by show of hands, who says 5 minutes prior? And then you can just count it off and then majority wins, and that's your rule.
All right, by show of hands, who says 5 minutes prior?
So 0755. So you just put like in seats 0755. You can shorthand it.
Right here?
Yeah, just like squeeze it in
Well, that's not much of a canvas. What about the other people's voices?
there. Majority. I mean, you're wasting no time. Majority wins. Okay, so next rule is trash. We gotta take trash out every day. How you wanna do it? So based on experience, some people, they do the snake method all the way throughout the entire 3 weeks. What I usually do, since this is not my classroom, in my classroom, this is what I do. I have a rule that E5 and below don't take trash out, only E6 and above. But that's up to y'all. You can do the snake method or you can do that. But it has to be in collaboration. Everyone has to agree. So go ahead.
Everybody go with the snake method? Yeah. One takes a turn every day.
And then as far as your workstations, just police yourselves. We're all adults. We've all been in the Navy for a long time in here. Collectively, probably like 300 years of active service in this room right now. And we have spray bottles if you need any type of cleaning supplies. At the end of the day, you can clean it up. No one is gonna no one should be sitting at your desk. So if you think your area is clean enough, you don't have to wipe it down or anything, trip about COVID or anything. We don't have to do that, right? That's not implemented anymore. But at the end of the 3 weeks, we are gonna do filtering, right? So just police yourselves, okay? Any other questions? Good. How about if someone has a like unexcused absence? It should happen. Some donuts or meals?
That's a good one. That is,
Okay, bang.
donuts?
Donuts.
Donuts are an excuse.
Your TCC should be over soon. So you get to go, when you get fat again,
Got mine.
10-week notice go out, then we can try to send it out. So donuts, by show of hands, donuts? Oh yeah, that's everybody. However, if you are gonna bring donuts, don't bring it the same day that you're late. Just bring it the next day, because then you're just gonna be extra late. Talking about being late, let's talk about the parking situation here at the schoolhouse. If you're going to be staff at any of these buildings here, you can go ahead and park here. But if you're not going to be staff, you can park across the street over there at medical and dental. Just make sure you're not parking at any type of reserved parking spots. There's also parking along the fence line. There's also parking over here, that little area, but then you would have to go through the gate. You can also park at the mini mart. Just park there if you want to. Just make sure you're not parking at the NGIS Navy Gateway Inn. Assigned parking spots, don't park there. There's also a parking garage or parking structure across the street from the mini mart, and to the right, if you're facing this way, to the right of the bowling alley, there's a parking structure. You can park there also. You can also park at the bowling alley, but they don't allow people to park there before 09. So if you're parked, for those who are gonna be late with the donuts and stuff like that, if you're parking there, yeah, you're good to go, because you're probably extremely late. Cool? I think that should be it. Motorcycle rider, by show of hands. So if you're riding a motorcycle, you can park right here, next to the building. There's little motorcycle spots that you can park. I think I'm good with that. All right, so, stay up here. So what we do, as far as like motivation, like I said, it takes a lot to stand in front of a class and actually deliver some type of training, stuff like that. I mean, y'all have done training in the past before, so y'all know. Whenever someone is done with a presentation or does something good, we do what we call give it up. We say like give it up, and then we clap. We're gonna do clap twice. So we give it up. And there we go. So give it up. You see, oh, you feel good, right? How are you? See if I missed anything in here. Are there any questions on anything that we covered so far? No? Okay. If not, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that one thing. It's called glossophobia. So glossophobia is a fear of public speaking. It's one of the most common social fears. Now, during this course, you will learn how to manage glossophobia. So you can manage by internalizing that nervous energy, right, and using it positively, so that way you can struggle. And we'll go through that throughout the course and show you how to do it. Now, so thinking about having that fear of public speaking, I have a question that I have here written down. What methods have you used or seen someone use to harness the energy caused by nervousness or fear?
Control your breathing.
As to it.
Preparation with a pre-typed script that you go over beforehand.
Boom, shakalaka, boom. Yes. Preparation, practice, rehearsing, just being ready. That helps you calm your nerves down, especially in front of a student body or any type of training situation. If you rehearse and if you're prepared and you're organized, you should be good to go. And I saw someone said, oh, I heard someone said something over here. Go ahead.
Control your breathing.
Say again?
Control your breathing.
Yeah, of course. You want to control your breathing, right? Because your heart rate is beating, right? You're starting to sweat. So So you wanna go ahead and start controlling your breathing. And one good technique also to help you manage nervousness is have, you know, a bottle of water or something like that, so that way you can take small breaks and work on your breath, things like that. Anyone else before we move on? No? All right, cool. All right, so harnessing nervous energy improves voice projection, eye contact, attitude, minimizes distracting gestures, and helps you focus on activities and content. Now, all the instructors here, you know, I've been here for 2 years and stuff like that, I still have glossophobia. And the reason why I still have glossophobia at times, especially when it's a new class and faces that I haven't seen. Like, I don't know you, I'm still a little bit nervous. I'm surprised I don't have the fans on. Because usually I have the fans on because I kind of like hit out when I'm nervous. I start sweating underneath my uniform. But I have the fan on. So that glossophobia is not gonna fully go away. It's not. But like how IS2 read and said, perfect examples of harnessing your nervousness is to be prepared, be ready, rehearse, and have some type of organization with your presentation. It's 100%. You checked into your command already, huh?
I did.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's some good senior instructors over there. So if you talk to them, tell them like, give them kudos. Okay, let's see. Now, what are some other? I talked about pitting out and having the fans on. What are some examples of other common symptoms of glossophobia? ISC Rowley.
Your volume is either very high or very low.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, I can see that. But voice inflection sometimes too. So if that person keeps their voice loud the entire time, yeah, they may be nervous. If they keep it low, because they're maybe hiding. So yeah, I agree, 100%. Anyone else? We'll go with AZC Carter.
Just taking long periods of pauses to figure out where you're at.
Okay, I can see where that may be some type of symptom. However, pauses are not bad, but if you take like extreme long pauses, it could be a little bit intimidating. It could actually make you even more nervous if you're not used to controlling pauses. When you have that long, dead silence in class, do not feel intimidated by that. That's fine, because you're the one that's controlling and managing the classroom dynamic. If you feel like you need to pause for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, because maybe you're drinking some water, or maybe you're just trying to like pull up a video or something, and you just hear dead silence, don't get nervous. It's just, that's how you're controlling your class, right? You're taking the time. You're like the quarterback of the class, Tom Brady of the class. They play tonight, they're playing against the Giants, go Bucks. Yeah, I'm a Bucks fan. All right, so common symptoms here that the book has. Physical, so sweating, trembling, and fainting. I almost saw fainting. Dead serious, I did. It's about like 10 classes ago. I had a young man up here, he did his introduction, it was really good. And then once he started getting into the meat and potatoes of the presentation, he just locked up, like he had like a blank moment, he forgot, and he just started stuttering. And then I thought he was gonna fall. I was like, training timeout. I did a cartwheel, I jogged, and I called him. Nah, I didn't do it. But I did do a training timeout, and he kind of like, when he heard the training timeout, he caught himself, and then it's like, hey man, just have a seat, take a break, and then we'll continue other ones. All right, if you turn to page 18, so on page 18, your student guides, you're gonna see some common jargons and common terms that we use here in NITC Schoolhouse and in Navy training. Just to familiarize yourself. All right, cool, so we're gonna move on. Any questions on glossophobia? Fear of public speaking? Okay. We're gonna move on to grading criteria, working together for success. So first, we're gonna prepare assessment. It says here, record to assist in self-evaluation and feedback. We do have cameras in the rooms, and they're attached to the instructor workstation. However, it's more efficient if you have like one of your shipmates or classmates take their cell phones, or take your cell phone and record you. It's a lot quicker, because what we'll have to do is we got to take this, and then we got to try to put it on a chair and kind of like center. Just use a cell phone. Don't use this stuff. Okay, so you can do that, so that way you can see yourself and see what type of Vegas skills you gotta correct and mannerisms and all of that. Vegas stands for voice, eye contact, gestures, and attitude. All right, it says here self-evaluation and feedback. So yes, throughout this whole time in this course, you have to have some humility. You gotta be humble, okay? And the reason why I say you have to be humble is because you're gonna do peer-to-peer critiques on each other. So you're gonna give that presenter, hey, this is some things that you did positive. Hey, now, these are some things that you have to work on, needs improvement. And some people might take that, take that to heart. So please have some humility whenever you're in front of the class presenting and you're getting that peer-to-peer critique and feedback. And the feedback from the instructors. All right, so next, we're gonna evaluate. So prepare, then evaluate. So knowledge tests and performance tests, evaluation sheets are completed and graded. We're gonna have 2 knowledge tests. Our knowledge test consists of 25 questions, and you can have 7 incorrect answers. You can score 70 on this test and pass. However, week 1, don't take week 1 for granted. You have to study. You have to go through it. You got to study, review it. Because week 1's test, we usually have at least maybe 2 students that have to remediate and have to retake the test. So please study, put in your best effort, and try to pass. Okay. So we have 2 knowledge tests, week 1, so you're gonna take one this week no, you probably won't take it this week. You probably take it like on Monday, Tuesday of the following week, since we have a 4-day weekend. So it depends on what Esteban Walsh wants you all to do. He's your class leader. Then we have 3 performance tests. So for performance tests, those are the tests that you're gonna present. What you're gonna do is you're gonna be presenting material to the student body, right, to your group. And there consists of three tests. First week is gonna be a demo. All right, so what I mean by demo is demonstrating the skill. So you're gonna demonstrate things like how to tie knots, like square knots, midshipman's hitch, just simple topics like that. How to fold t-shirt, how to work with a smart board. This is what we call a smart board. How to drag and carry. Your first week is gonna be those type of topics. You're gonna be demonstrating skill. Second week is gonna be facilitation. The second week is always my favorite week. I like them too, because I like facilitation. So facilitation is a little bit different. You're not instructing, you're actually just guiding the conversation. Guiding that group, or managing that group dynamic and guiding that conversation. Week 3 is gonna be your capstone. That's your final test. So that's your final one. It's gonna be topics like Navy core values, sexual assault prevention and response, diversity, so on and so forth. We have a few topics. Week 1's topic, the demonstration, is gonna be about a 15 to 20 minute presentation from introduction to summary review. Week 2, which is your facilitation, from your introduction to your summary review, about 30 minutes. And it's the same for your capstone. It's gonna be a 30 minutes long. Cool? Now, if you turn to page 24, 26, and 28, those are the evaluation sheets that we're gonna use to evaluate you. However, whenever you're practicing with your groups, because we're gonna break you up in groups to practice, do practice runs and stuff like that, you can use or make copies or access for copies of those sheets, and you can evaluate yourselves in there during those practice runs. All right, so we already talked about one-on-one discussion, self and peer evaluation and critiques, and remediate. Remediation is provided as needed. We try our best not to remediate any students. However, if we have to remediate you, meaning get in depth into some things that you need help in, we're gonna do that. Cool. But like I said, if you give us 100%, we'll give y'all 100%, and I think y'all are gonna be good. No worries. And take it all in, take all the feedback in from you. So please don't quit on us, don't shut down. Just give us as much as you can. So are there any questions on anything I covered before I move on to our summary review? So in summary, I explained the overview of the course. We also talked about the purpose of the course is to get y'all to get that NEC of 805 Alpha and all the skills of an entry level instructor. We also talked about some classroom management and school hall policies. We're assigned B2 McCurry is our class leader. Y'all came up with your classroom norms. We talked about safety at the beginning during the introduction. We talked about the fear of public speaking, which is glossophobia, and the grading criteria. We're gonna do 3 performance tests. Those are dichotomous grading, so SAT or unsat, pass or fail. And your knowledge tests are 70% is the minimum score that you can get on those tests. Now, I have a question for you all. So what NEC is awarded to Navy personnel upon completion of this course? Go ahead, IC Raleigh.
805 Alpha.
Bingo, yes. 805 Alpha, where you gain the skills of an entry-level instructor. Now, one more question, yes. What is the term for the fear of public speaking? You can just yell it out. Yeah, outstanding. It is glossophobia. It is fear of public speaking. And like we said, in this course, we're gonna help you harness that nervous energy so that way you can control your glossophobia. So do me a favor, go ahead and go to page 30 in your student guide. Give me just a second also. So on page 30, now what we're gonna do is, so this is a job sheet, right? A little exercise that we're gonna do. And they're gonna go to page 31, number 6. We'll just skip all of that. All of those relevant, and we'll just go to number 6, sample questions. So you usually, at any type of schools, usually the instructors, what they'll do, they may start from like one side of the room and say, hey, go ahead, stand up, introduce yourself, so on and go all the way. Here at the NITC schoolhouse, since we're learning how to public speak and how to present and instruct, what we're gonna do is we're gonna team y'all up into pairs, and you're gonna introduce that other classmate. And so you're gonna be introducing each other. What we're gonna do is, and it's gonna be quick. So in the front there, it says like 3 to 5 minutes. No, very, very quick. And you can use those questions, those sample questions to help you interview that person. All right, so that way you're able to introduce that person to class. Sounds good? All right, so let's see the parent. So I'm gonna work this out. I'm gonna get to you. I have a partner. So y'all two in the back, right here, right, middle, yep, middle outboard. IS2, ABE1, y'all can do teaming up, HM1 Davenport, and hey, also Peacock, what's your rate? CTR2 Peacock. And then, I got you. AO1 Gumby and AO1, well, that's not fair, the 2 AO1 sitting next, that's fine. Okay, y'all two are MA1 Stokes and EOD1 Hernandez. Then you got AZC and AS1, y'all can do each other. Then RS1, Dingle. What you're gonna do is just come up here and you're gonna do that just with Chief up here. Then what we're gonna do is Lieutenant Chung and Lieutenant Shock. That's right. I think I need y'all to, I need a cheat code. You can write your rank and last name, and you two be it. So Lieutenant, HM2, and AO2. Then we got HM2, AO2, and then we're going to do a 3-way. So y'all 3 are going to be introducing yourselves to each other, and then we'll do AM1 Frazier and B2 McCurdy. Y'all good to go? Everyone has a partner? So we're going to give y'all like 15 minutes to go through that. Myself and Petty also Walsh, we're gonna come back in and do a demonstration so we can get the flow of how it's gonna be presented. Any questions?